Hey people, it's Niall Stoker. I would like to thank Pro Black Fort Free for telling me about this story. Now, I posted about this story a while back. This is about Bruce's Beach, where this LA County or the city of LA, one of them used eminent domain to steal this 100 years ago from a black family. So, here we go. Family plans to sell Bruce's Beach property back to LA County for $20 million. Bruce's Beach, an oceanfront property in Southern California that was taken from black owners in the Jim Crow era and returned to their descendants last year, will be sold back to Los Angeles County for nearly $20 million, county officials said Tuesday. Family members of the original landowners, Willa and Charles Bruce, have informed the county of their decision to sell Bruce's Beach. Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors Chair Janice Hahn said in a statement, "It's unclear when the sale will be completed. The seizure of Bruce's Beach nearly a century ago was an injustice inflicted upon not just Will and Charles Bruce, but generations of their descendants who almost certainly would have been millionaires," Hans said in a statement. The Bruce family have received the official deed last year, 98 years after the property was taken by the city of Manhattan Beach, and after efforts from relatives, activists, and local officials. Will and Charles Bruce purchased the land in 1912 for $1,225 and built several facilities, including a cafe and changing rooms. The resort became a popular tourist attraction that offered black families a place to enjoy the California life, but the family faced intimidation and racial threats from white neighbors and the Ku Klux Klan. In 1924, Manhattan Beach took the property, citing eminent domain, and paid the couple a fraction of what they asked for. The Bruces left and died just 5 years later. Bruce's Beach is now a park with a lawn and lifeguarding training facility. In 1995, the property was transferred to Los Angeles County. In recent years, county officials began taking steps to return the land to the family. These efforts led to California Governor Gavin Newsom signing a 2021 legislation to allow for the return of the property to Bruce's descendants. Last year, the official deed marking the transfer of the land was given to the family. Hans said she fought hard to return the property to the Bruce family because she wanted to right this wrong and support their decisions. "This is what reparations look like, and it is a model I hope governments across the country will follow," Hans said in a statement. That's some nonsense, because I made some notes about what I wanted to talk about. So, first off, $20 million for that land is an absolute pittance. It's easily worth 10 times that. Some of the houses in LA on the beach are worth at least $5 million, easy. I mean, you got a whole beach. I don't know how big it is, but it must be worth 5 times that, 10 times that, easily. And I want people to remember something: that lawyers and taxes will take up a lot of it. They're not just going to pay $20 million and it goes there. They've got land taxes to pay that have been taken out. There's going to be officials that have to be, like lawyers and all these real estate agents that have to be paid. It's not just signing on a dotted line. They're all going to take a percentage. And don't forget, there's not one single descendant. There's multiple ones. I think I saw in a photo there were at least 7 members of the family. I'm sure those were just like the initial ones. I'm sure there were more descendants after 100 years. So, okay, let's say 15 million was left split between, 10 people. That's $1.5 million apiece. After 100 years, that's what? Okay, how does that work out? I don't want to do this right now, but it's still absolutely ridiculous. So, my other talking points. Now, this is an FBA family. For all these ones who keep saying all the bad things, this is some dirty Haitians, dirty Jamaicans, dirty Africans. This is an FBA family. They've sold their reparations, which is it's actually worth more than what California is offering for reparations for the average FBA. $223,000 was the proposal, right? This land, at the point of sale right now, is worth 100 times that, and they've sold it. They haven't had it a year, they had it 1 year after being taken for 100 years, and they're selling it back to the people who stole it. And again, it's worth 10 times that easily, and they're just squandering it. Now, some particulars of it. Now, some people say, well, the deal they signed or the conditions they were given it was that they can only sell it to the county of LA, and there's a rental agreement that the county, LA County rents it back for them for about at least $400,000 plus every year. So some people were saying, oh, with the land taxes, they knew that they would have to give it up, which is again nonsensical. I'm sure if they have fought this in the court, because none of these rules sound anywhere just or legal, how is it that you can fraudulently steal someone's land under eminent domain? Because keep in mind that they took it for eminent domain and they just left the land vacant for 30 years. It was only when it was becoming close to a legal challenge where they could take it back, they then made it into a park. There's huge grounds that they could take them to court and say these are unfair and unjust, or at the very least adjusted it, say instead of 20 million, make it somewhere close to the real value of the land. Because I don't understand how that kind of stipulation can exist. You steal someone's land, you give it back to them, and then give them rules on what they can do with it, which are way below the market value. Like I said, and for all this, I'm saying this is an example of what is going to happen with a lot of reparations. And people have brought this up, and the number one answer is anyone who criticizes it and brings up the fact that the black dollar circulates in the black community for 6 hours is never a factual answer. You're a coon, you're a sellout, you're a terror. That person's Cuban, that person's Jamaican, that person, they won't get reparations. They're just jealous, trying to stop reparations. Okay, I have a question for that. Okay, if they really believe that all these non-American blacks are trying to stop reparations, should the Africans and all the other nations then boycott FBA? I mean, if you really believe that, should they then turn around and say all black Americans should be blockaded from black countries? Because if you believe that they're trying to steal your stuff, the same logic should apply the other way. Well, these FBA are coming to our countries, they're coming to steal our stuff. I'm just saying, you got to apply the logic both ways. And they haven't got an answer. They always keep saying that. But they haven't got an answer to how having more money will simply change a bad system. I think it was said that the weave industry is worth $30 billion. And God only knows what's going to happen when more money is added to that. And I remember the actor who was on Walking Dead, the guy who played Glenn, when I remember reading about his biography, I think if it was correct, it said that his family owned like a hair and makeup place in Detroit. Now, Detroit is a black city. 77% of the last time. So all that black dollars, even in a city as poor as Detroit, made a Korean family rich enough that they were able to send him to school and give him an opportunity to build generational wealth. A black man or woman could have been in that Asian actor's place, but all that money went to giving them an opportunity. Oh well, all those people who talk about FBA, all those FBA talking about stealing from FBA and taking it back to Africa through remittances have nothing to say about them. Those good Chinese. And other people have said, what's the word? What was I going to say? Oh, I've lost my train of thought. But look, this is one of the reasons why reparations needed in a variety of forms. Now, please listen. Cash payments should happen. But there needs to be more to that than just one-off payments. There needs to be ongoing payments, other things. And the thing is, there has to be plans about how the money is going to be used. Because you even have people saying delusionally that we'll get more payments after this. Look, they don't want to give any money. As far as they're concerned, they'll say, okay, we'll draw a check, give you, and there you go. Shut up. They're not going to give it again. So it has to be used properly once the reparations are done. Anyway, and I'm going to discuss some of these other suggestions about how reparations needs to have a plan in a second video. But anyway, does anybody have anything that they can prove without name calling or without ad hominem attacks how more FBA families getting money would change things? I doubt it. Oh wait, now I remember what my talking point was. Some people in the comments were saying, maybe the family were friend. And I'm like, look, that makes no sense. You and I have seen plenty of black folks forgiving white folks for setting them up to be murdered, massacring them, brutalizing them, sending them to jail. That's giving them way too much credit. I've seen so many of them oh, thank you, master. I'm sorry, master. Anyway. Anyway, this is really disappointing. I hope that they rethink this and change their minds before this go, because once it's sold, that's it. It's never coming back. Please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.